Okay, so I'm back with Lilith theme, and this is Lilith in the fourth house. Okay, if you have Lilith in your fourth house in your birth chart, so this is the thing. You are here to establish security within yourself. And this is the thing. This is the thing. Because it's not always so easy getting there. And the reason why I say this is because it could be in a way that you don't want. All right, let me give you an example. Let me stop all this chit chat and let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, okay? So, let's say you're here and you're in this society, like in this world, in this modern society, or just in this world in general. I'm not even gonna say modern society. Let's just say in this world right now. And you have Lilith. This could have been back in the day too. This could have been back in the day, especially if you're living in this day and age. You got a better chance. Okay. What ends up happening is you get put in situations to where you possibly, let's say as a female, as a woman, feminine, you are in situations to where you have to find security within, right? Because to be honest with you, there is no such thing as security if you don't really have the security within. Because at any second, a tornado can come through and wipe everything out. We know this already. A flood can come through, flood everything out. Okay? People don't live forever. So, this is actually teaching you something, okay? This is actually teaching you something. And where I'm going with this is, suppose you have to you're saying, hey, I'm going to get married by a certain age, I'm going to have children, you have everything all planned out except for, okay, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom, or I'm going to be able to just do the things that I love and then be protected and loved by my husband and children. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have a marriage and can't have that happen, but at the same time, what I am saying is sometimes that and what you expected goes a little bit different. And this can go the other way, completely the other way, to where your family could want that for you, but you just either it's hard for you to find, or you're just like, I don't want to have to compromise myself to fit that. If it's like, why should I have to compromise myself? And I have my own moral standards. You're saying to me that I should be acting like this or that, or have these things or that or those things, and compromise my morality. You're saying that that's moral. That's morally correct. It makes me an honest woman or whatever. And it's like, I'm saying my morality comes from me actually being with somebody that I want to be with, like that I actually love, that I have feelings for. And if I want to wait on that, how is that bothering anybody? So there's this ongoing theme of wanting, needing, having, whether it's something that's coming from within, wanting this security, and or someone wanting it from you, for you, however you want to put it, and it has to look a certain way. It has to be traditional. And it just doesn't happen that way all the time. This could be Lilith in the fourth house can also have like emotional outbursts, either extreme emotional outbursts or holding them in and then projecting those emotions in other ways. Now, this is the thing, because I'm going to tell you right now, as Lilith in the fourth house, yeah, you are supposed to heal, or you're going to be different when it comes to the way that you deal with your family and tradition than what your parents were, and what other members of your family than what they do. It's like huge themes with family. So you're going to come and you're going to portray something different. But at the same time, because you feel so misunderstood, or because you could want things to go a completely different way, you either tremendously repress yourself, or you act out, like to where people can see your emotions. it's hard for you to really control them. It could be even where you're like, I don't understand why I can't get what I want now, only because of themes of security, inner security. Okay. It's I get it. And I'm not saying that people have not inflicted anything on any of you. Now, every placement is different, but what I am saying is that when you have Lilith, Lilith shows where we can be abused. So Lilith in the fourth house is no different. It can show where there's some sort of abuse that took place, like emotional abuse, or some sort of abusive cycle within the family unit or family structure, or just period. To where like this Lilith individual comes in order to heal through this, in order to change the dynamic for themselves and set themselves free, they have to put this out. They have to heal this energy. Okay. Most Lilith themes, what I have noticed, when used in a constructive manner, changes, does something or portrays something, implements something from within to without, that changes the dynamic of their lives and other people. Every last person can do this with their Lilith placement. You just have to know what your Lilith placement is. I highly stress this. This is why I always tell people, hey, get to know yourselves. Get to know yourself. Get to know yourself. Because the whole time you'll be sitting over here stuck on or tripping off of what somebody else is doing with their life and their situation, and feeling sorry for yourself and not knowing that only if you knew yourself, you would know, oh, okay, these are where my placements are. This is where my focus should be. Really, that person ain't got nothing to do with me. Listen to me when I tell you this, and I'm being dead serious. It changes everything, honey. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Lilith in the fourth house is no different. Like I said, Lilith in the fourth house needs to have some way to where you can vent your emotions, write them down, talk to someone. And when I say talk to someone, I say talk to someone that does not have anything to do with any of the family drama or family situations. It'll be good to just find somebody like a therapist, a counselor, or somebody. The reason why I say these types of people is because these type of people actually get paid. There's nothing that they're looking from you other than that. They're not going to be trying to go put your business out on the street. They're not going to be trying to damage you with the information. And when you come out and when you people don't understand how good of therapy it is to just be able to vent. And if you don't want to go and vent to a therapist or a counselor, you do it. You start talking to yourself. I don't care what nobody say. Because I've said this before in my videos. People can say whatever. They can think whatever. They can call me whatever. I do it all the time. And it works. Okay. It works. I be done talk myself through a whole situation from the beginning to the end about how I'm handling everything, baby, and come out on top. Do you understand me? It works because you're not really talking to yourself. You're talking to your guides. You're talking to your angels. You're talking to the spiritual realm. Okay. Now, Lilith in the fourth house really has to find a way, because if you don't, you'll be having these emotional outbursts. You can become very destructive, even to yourself, and you can feel that you don't have support. You do have support, but I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this good, so just listen up. Okay? What you have to understand, and Lilith in the fourth house can be extremely sensitive, but this is what I'm going to say. That's where some of the acting out could come from. A defense mechanism. But this is what I'm going to say. Okay? It's not in vain, and it's not for nothing. You have to really put yourself in a situation to where you understand that you do have support. And you have to also create things. Because once you can kind of just come outside of the way that you look and in the way that it has to be, in the way that it has to go, and just start being okay, and just start accepting, like accepting things like, did what happened to you, what experiences did you have. Okay, you're not running away from it, but as soon as you get the chance, as soon as you ever get one chance, you would do it differently. You don't got to be your mom, you don't got to be your dad, you don't got to inflict anything onto anybody else that you felt like was done to you. You know, it's in acceptance. And sometimes you can vocalize your feelings and what you experience to the people that you feel like you experienced it through. But at the same time, if you don't, or the timing is not right for you to do it, just coming to a place of acceptance will put you in a place to where you can heal and you can cry. And it's okay to cry alone. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay. Because once you start getting in control of your own emotions and you start accepting things like, okay, well, this is what happened. This is why I didn't feel supported. This is why I don't feel secure. This is why I feel insecure. What you start doing is you start realizing something. You start realizing that it wasn't, especially as a child, it wasn't you really this whole time. It was others projecting their experiences on and off to you. And they didn't know, hey, they knew better, but they didn't know any better in a way. They didn't know any better in a sense to where I'm saying, like, if the reason why they didn't know any better, because if a person knows better, they'll do better. But at the same time, it's not your fault at all. At all. Then you say, you know what? It stops here. I'm giving these people back their issues and I'm just going to do something different. And you start doing things. You start creating things. In these things that you create, in the things that you say, in the family that you're building, or you know that you're creating for yourself, you start building these traditions. You start building like strong bonds. You raise your children differently. You just handle situations differently altogether. It makes you emotionally feel better. And you start seeing, let's just say you're the fourth house person and you do something like, you write poems or you write poetry or you get online and you're talking to other people, whatever the case may be, you'll start seeing that other people are gravitating towards you because they feel like you comfort them. They feel like there's healing there with listening to you and looking at what you've created. Okay. And you start to see this and you start to see that this is where your healing, how you healed yourself and where the healing takes place. You start to see it and other people start to see things around you. And then you start to feel supported because people are going to support you because you're giving them something. You're giving them something that they themselves probably did not know how to give themselves. Healing, emotional security. It starts from within. And Lilith in the fourth house deals with this. And this is huge with family ties. Some of you guys might even, because it depends on your family dynamic when you were growing up, but some of you guys might even find it that you grow up and you make this family, you meet people that you have this family type energy or feel with, bonds with, and then you look at these people like family and you realize like, okay, I do have family, like I am secure, I am supported. But definitely with Lilith in the fourth house, we're talking like family themes here. Okay. So yeah, Lilith in the fourth house, if I was to give you a name, you would be an emotional disaster. That's a gift to your self and your family.